Well, I have to tell you that Rabbi Herman touched my chord with the blessing he gave, because I actually said that to myself this morning. It's very meaningful in the Jewish tradition, and we really couldn't have asked for a better day to celebrate arriving at this the end of this long road. So while I've been working on this project over the years, I've been drawn to a certain passage from Psalms, Psalm 92, verses 13 through 15, which read, "The righteous will flourish like a palm tree and grow tall like a cedar in Lebanon, planted in the Lord's house, blossoming in God's courtyards. They will still bear fruit in old age. They will stay vigorous and fresh." What a beautiful encapsulation of the greenhouse concept. But my job this afternoon is to recognize and thank all the people and institutions who helped GEDCO plant and fertilize the seeds for the greenhouse palms and cedars, making it possible for Stadium Place and Maryland to host this innovative environment, within which the righteous elders of Baltimore will flourish, blossom, and stay vigorous and fresh. The first seeds were planted in 2005, 7 years ago, when Johns Hopkins Bayview donated to GEDCO 49 skilled nursing bed licenses, which were about to expire later that year. In 2007, we were informed that the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation and NCB Capital Impact had teamed up to replicate this brand new model of nursing home called the Greenhouse, and we could be the first in Maryland. Dr. Bill Thomas, the creator of the Greenhouse model, visited Stadium Place and inspired us to be a beacon to the long-term care industry in Maryland. With his inspiration, the boards of GEDCO and Stadium Place accepted the challenge and voted that we should apply to become a part of the Greenhouse National Replication Initiatives. The Greenhouse Project team has been integral to the conception of this building, and we want to especially thank Robert Jenkins and Melissa Honig for their encouragement, sage advice, and counsel to us throughout this process. In 2008, with an approved certificate of need from the Maryland Healthcare Commission, now in hand, we set out to raise the money required to fertilize and water the starter seeds, allowing them to flourish and bear fruit. The first financial contributions to this effort were made by over 180 residents of Stadium Place, who donated $1 or more to our Green for the Greenhouse campaign in support of this effort. With this grassroots community support, we went to our 43rd District Legislative team, and they sponsored a bond bill, which helped us pay for our early design work. We want to stop and say thanks to Senator Joan Carter Conway, Delegates Anderson, McIntosh, Washington, and former Delegate Dury, who all played a role in this. One of GEDCO's biggest supporters has always been Governor Martin O'Malley, who supported GEDCO and the Stadium Place project while he was our city councilman, then our mayor, and now our governor. When it came to the Greenhouse project, the governor inserted $4.5 million into his capital budget for the fiscal year 2009 capital budget. We're eternally grateful to him and the 43rd District delegation for then making sure that this line item stayed in the budget that was approved. At the same time, Baltimore City invested $500,000 with the support of then Mayor Sheila Dixon, our current Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake, City Council President Jack Young, Councilwoman Clark, of course, and Baltimore Housing Commissioner Paul Graziano. GEDCO is also very fortunate to have earned the generous support of foundations who stepped up to help us build the Greenhouse residence, including our favorite Baltimore Foundation and a national leader in funding programs for older adults, the Harry and Jeanette Weinberg Foundation. They were joined by the Franz Merrick Foundation, the Leonard and Helen Stolman Charitable Foundation, and many more. Over the last 20 years, the faith-based organizations that are members of GEDCO have provided timely financial contributions, and they kept pace with the Greenhouse Project. They were joined by a large number of individuals, way too many to name, and by a special corporate donor, Presbyterian Senior Living. As a special way of saying thanks to you, we commissioned the mosaic artwork that you'll see in the lobby of the building as a sign of our appreciation to the donors to this project. An additional element was getting key lending support from Bruce McLean of Susquehanna Bank, and especially to Terry Simonet, who you just heard from, and Ann Geggy, and the team on the bank side of NCB Capital Impact. This was a long journey, but at the hour of our greatest need, they stepped in and kept this project going through a thoughtful and flexible approach to its financing, using a new loan pool provided by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. Next, I must thank our design and development team, including the leadership of our architects, Magda Westerhout and Nancy Liebrecht from Marks Thomas Associates, May and Reichel Associates for the landscape design, Perry Savoy of Perry Style Interiors, STV Incorporated, Jack Tranter, Nita Schultz, and Tom Lewis of Gallagher, Avelius and Jones. And a special thanks to Ryan Cowden, Adam Bell, and Craig Poole of Plano Cowden, the general contractor for the building, for building this special environment. The last element required was to find a mission-compatible, experienced gardener, in this case a nursing home operator, who would tend our greenhouse garden in keeping with its spirit. We're confident that we're working with the organization that is best qualified in Baltimore to do so, the Associated Catholic Charities. We appreciate the commitment to this project at the highest levels provided by Bill McCarthy and Mark Schultz. We truly value and look forward to deepening our organizational relationship. And we're looking forward to growing our relationship with Christine Maurer and Nate Sweeney. I met Christine, she was still a student in graduate school. And their team. In closing, I must take a moment to thank all of the GEDCO staff, board members, and volunteers, past and present, who have played critical roles in pulling this all together. So now in this long story of thanks, I've so far left out one person, and that is the visionary who has provided leadership to show us the way to this garden. In GEDCO's world, that role is played by one person who has taught our community, against all odds, how to nurture many vulnerable populations, especially elders. So, regardless of race, religion, or economic status, they can all flourish and grow tall